India has certainly lost its crown jewel of the Lal Street. The big bull, the folk hero, the poster boy of Indian stock markets, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, is no more. India will certainly miss him, but we will never forget him. And more than a legendary investor, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala was an extraordinary human being. His word was his bond. His big heart attitude. He always maintained that it is not the goal which is important, it is the means and the path on which you will reach the goal, they are important. And I'm going to just take this conversation forward with someone who's known Rakesh Jhunjhunwala very dearly as a friend and as a mentor, and more importantly as a guru. Madhu, thank you for joining us. These are, I would say, a difficult patch in your life.
Thank you, Nikunj. Yes, indeed, it has been quite tough.
I would like to also extend our condolences. You lost your mother also about a month ago.
Almost more than a month. I lost my mother. And then I lost actually my master. He was a true master to me. Mentor and a friend is too mild a word. Someone who was truly, responsible for my grooming, even in a very early days, and selflessly continued to contribute to my professional and personal development in last 22 years of me knowing him so well. And Nikunj, again, there are numerous people who will come in the stock market and in life. But I can tell you, there will be none like him.
Why do you say that?
See, that is the point. See, our business, otherwise, it is very competitive, right? People know that अगर मेरा ये कोई आइडिया है, मैं किसी के साथ शेयर कर लूँगा, वो ले लेगा, वो पहले ले लेगा, बाद में ले लेगा. So it's a very competitive business, wherein people don't want to even share their ideas. What he shared, not only ideas, as they say, you share a fish, that is one thing. You teach someone how to fish, that's a different level altogether, right? And he exactly did that. He shared his deepest trade secrets with people like me, wherein what he learned over the last 30-40 years. He will actually explain that this is how you need to think, this is how you need to evaluate the company. And that's why I say that there will be never a personality like him. At least I have not come across anyone who is so large-hearted. And Nikunj, that is another point. That one thing is someone is teaching you, and someone, like me, I've even observed and learned a lot. That everything need not be taught. Once you are in a company of someone like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, you have to also learn, right? You have to learn seeing his deeds. So what touched me the most during all these years, that he knew so many people, like he knew even so many politicians. Even we will tell him, भैया ये थोड़ा चेक कर लो ना. बोले छोड़ना, अपने को क्या चेक करने का, जब आना होगा जब आ जाएगा. So he never misused. So the money which he made, the life which he lived, which all of us are aware, right? But the money which he made, again in a country like India, where people are so shy of admitting their success. People are so shy of admitting that how much money they have. His thing was his portfolio was like a bhav copy.
So right? Is that the real tribute that Madhu Kela also will start sharing a lot now?
No, I think I will. To be honest with you, I want to take, as they say now, my real tribute to him will be, can we keep him alive?
Yeah.
Not physically, but in a real sense. Can we make sure that what all we have learned from him over these years, but because he is no more, can we continue to extend that helping hands to people like what he did to us? Right?
And training and sharing.
Training, sharing, mentoring, holding hands, whatever you. And for me, it was much more, Nikunj. I think now, see, the whole point is that everyone knows how to analyze a balance sheet, how to analyze cash flows, etc., etc. But teaching intrinsically about integrity, about how you should take risk, when you should stake money, how you should take a large bet in your life, when do you completely avoid markets, when do you go completely in. I remember as recent an incident, when COVID happened, I called him. You know, Nifty was 7,500 or 7,600 the day lockdown happened.
Yes, yes.
क्या लगता है भैया? बोले दूर रहने का. Only one word, दूर रहने का. Maybe 2 months later, Nifty would have been at 9,000. And his own typical language, बंगड़ी बेच के लगा दे.
He changed his view.
भयंकर तेजी लगता है. एंड देन आई वेंट टू हिम, वहाँ पे वो 7,500 में तो बोल रहे थे दूर रहने का, अभी 9,000 में बोल तो ले लेने का. तो बोले अगेन आई विल रिपीट हिज वर्ड्स. मेरे बाबा जी को वो नहीं मालूम था 2-3 महीने के अंदर कोविड का क्या होने वाला है, पर आज मुझे मालूम है कि ये कोई लंबा चौड़ा वायरस नहीं है विच इज लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग और कम्युनिटी थ्रेटनिंग और लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग वाज देयर, बट he was clear that it is a virus.
He used to call it just a flu.
And I think he took one of his biggest bet of life in COVID. I'm just telling you, Nikunj, how many people will do this?
No, he came on our shows and he said that, look, I'm 60 plus, but I feel like a kid in a candy store and I've taken the biggest leverage bet of my
I've actually
life.
seen that video which you took with him at least 10 times in last 4 days. When he talked about death and he talked about
I would meet him every time and he would come back not knowing more about markets but more about life, attitude, approach.
Exactly.
And
that is what, in my view, made him the greatest investor he was. You know what his biggest asset was? I'm sure in your television no one would have spoken. I think his biggest asset was his relationships.
Yes.
वो एक बार जिसको मिलते थे ना उसको अपना दीवाना बना देते.
Even Bollywood actresses, I can tell you.
सर वो तो अलग है. मैं बोल रहा हूँ even in the financial world, like Nikunj.
When did you meet him first?
I met him in 1998.
And how did you both meet? 1998.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I met him, actually I'll just give you an incident. I was working in Peregrine Securities, and I had a block to sell of 5% equity in all the Vijay Mallya group companies. And it was costing some 15 crore rupees. We were stuck because Peregrine was in trouble and we were stuck. So someone told me the only guy who can really buy this is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. And I didn't know him at all. Right? And he used to sit in his Ford office. And I was a salesman. अपना ही क्या downside है?
This is the old office outside stock exchange.
Exactly. And someone said, भैया को जाके मिल ले. तो मैं तो भैया के पास पहुंच गया. मैं सीधा और उनके यहाँ पे कोई अपॉइंटमेंट नहीं, कोई कैबिन नहीं, कुछ नहीं, सीधा अंदर घुस जाओ. तो मैं तो जाके बैठ गया. बोला भैया लाइफ टाइम अपॉर्चुनिटी है. मेरे को कुछ स्टॉक मार्केट का एस नहीं पता, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग इन्वेस्टिंग का कुछ भी नहीं पता. मैं बोला लाइफ टाइम अपॉर्चुनिटी है, ये 5% पूरा मेरे को एग्जैक्टली बोला गया था, तो क्या रट के जाना. तो मैं रट के गया, लिखकर बिजनेस इतना बड़ा हो जाएगा एंड 5% पूरी सब कंपनीज का 15 करोड़ में आपको मिल रहे हैं. तो सर तू है कौन? मैं बोला मैं पेरिग्रीन में काम करता हूँ, वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट ब्रोकिंग हाउसेज है, आपको पता करना है तो पता कर लो. आई एम द चीफ डीलर देयर. ही मेड मी सिट एंड ही सेड चल क्लोज्ड
Within a minute.
विदिन मतलब 30 मिनट्स. बोला चल क्लोज्ड, पर तू मेरे को शेयर देगा फिर मैं पैसा दूंगा. मैं बोला भैया वो तो हो नहीं सकता है, हमारा गोरा फॉर्म है, आपको हमारे को उतना ट्रस्ट तो करना पड़ेगा. तो ही ट्रस्टेड दैट एंड देन आफ्टर दैट ऑफ कोर्स आई डिड अ लॉट ऑफ very good transaction for him, including sourcing a big block of CRISIL for him, etc. Till the time I was in the broking side. But again I have no hesitation and I'm going to talk my heart out to you.
Yes,
today.
please.
I have no hesitation in saying stock market for me from 1991 till maybe 2000 or 2001 was only a means of making income. वो एक शेयर लेने का 100 रुपए में 120 में बिकता है, 20 रुपया बनता है, वो पैसे से मजा करने का. वी हैव नो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वेल्थ क्रिएशन व्हाटसोएवर. हमको ये पता ही नहीं था कि 5 साल 10 साल 15 साल 20 साल शेयर रख के ये होता है. एंड आई हैड ऑलरेडी स्पेंट 10 years. in the stock markets. But I came in 91 and I'm talking to you. But maybe I learned 10-20%. But we never know, not a concept. Sasta share
This is before Reliance.
Before Reliance. Sasta share ले लेने का. You know, 3 p में मिलता है, 4 p में मिलता है, वो share ले लेने का. We know what we bought was cheap, but your cheap was only getting cheaper. So it is he who was really, really instrumental. At least I can say in my career, and so many other people will admit that he was the one who taught me. You know what I told him in my 4th or 5th meeting, that ये Abu Dhabi Investment Authority में मेरा एक अच्छा फंड मैनेजर दोस्त है. You know, अगर मेरे को कोई स्टॉक आइडिया बेचने का है तो अपन बेच सकते हैं. तो बोले बैठाया मेरे को, बोला लड़की खूबसूरत होगी ना, ब्याहने वाला अपने आप आ जाएगा. मेरे को मेरी लड़की को लेकर, बट आई एम सेइंग ये पर्सनली, मेरे को मेरी लड़की को लेकर घूमने का नहीं है. तू सेल्समैन है, तेरा काम है, तू कर. बट मेरा कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है कि मेरा कोई भी शेयर में मार्केट करूं या कोई फंड मैनेजर को दिलवाऊं. इवन यू नो व्हेन वी आर सच सो क्लोज एंड आई वाज इन वर्किंग इन रिलायंस, आई कांट इवन call one instances where he called me and he told me that ये तेरे को लेना ही पड़ेगा या ये तेरे को बेचना ही पड़ेगा. Never once. Because he never believed in that.
No, I mean,
he believed that, you know, markets are larger than companies, markets are larger than individuals.
And you know, Madhu, when people say he's India's Warren Buffett, I sincerely feel that he's much larger than Warren Buffett. Mathematically, Warren Buffett, he's a great investor, but he did have an advantage of the Berkshire free float.
Yeah.
Here comes Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who's mathematically multiplied wealth, mathematically, which even
I think
it is mathematically impossible.
According to me, it is unfair to compare him to anyone.
Exactly.
In the world, now there are people or there are investors in the world who might be better than him, and there are people who are definitely worse than him, and there are people in the world who have made much more money than him, but there was only one Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
Smart trader and a great investor.
And a phenomenal human being.
Yes.
This combination and a phenomenal human being. These combination.
Transparent.
Yeah,
I mean, very transparent.
That phenomenal human being actually captures everything.
Did you ever have disagreements with him?
A lot of time.
Who would win the final?
No, he gave us the courage to disagree. That he taught, that is what he taught.
And have you bought shares or made investments?
You have to be opinionated. If you carry my opinion, you will not grow up. You have your opinion. Like we disagreed vehemently on Divi's lab. At that time, he was invested in metrics. He said
2002,
that Divi's metrics से बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ेगा. मैं बोला भैया 100% बढ़ेगा. And actually, metrics did very well
before it got acquired.
In that time frame, before it got acquired. So we disagreed a lot of times. But I must say, sometimes when I look back, you know, what he told me was pearls of wisdom. I disagreed with him. A lot of time I still took a bet on some managements which turned out to be not so good, etc., etc. But I wish I would have listened to him and not disagreed for the sake of it. But again, you know, he actually, in a true sense, always used to allow that if you have a point of view, he will not listen. Let me tell you, ultimately he will have his own way. But still he will allow you to make your point.
I was talking to some of his family members, and they also pretty much said the same thing, that this habit was inculcated in Rakesh Jhunjhunwala from his late father, who as a child always encouraged him to speak his mind out. Whether we agree or disagree with you, it is important. I hope we are able to pass that to our children.
Yeah, and that's what he always said, no? That I have reserved the right to be wrong, and let us agree to disagree.
Now, there's one thing about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, we all know that उनको गुस्सा आता था. आपको डांट पड़ी है कभी?
बहुत बार.
Why?
बहुत बार. डांट तो ऐसे क्या है निकुंज, कभी 8:30 बोला और 8:40 हो गया तो से तू बहुत बड़ा आदमी हो गया. But you know, we will always take even the dant with a smile, you know, because he had nothing in heart. वो 2 मिनट में डांटेंगे और फिर 2 मिनट बाद he will be your best friend. So we knew that it was only for a momentary thing.
You know, we don't realize, Madhu, that unfortunately, if I look at the history of Indian stock market, 1990s, 2000, periodically there were ups and downs. periodically there was massive market manipulation. Here comes a guy who creates wealth, was very open about his book, invited others, gave Indians and retail investors the confidence to trust in Indian capital market. I remember one of his line that जब मैंने चालू करा था मम्मी बोलती थी स्टॉक मार्केट में मत जा शादी नहीं होगी. Today stock market and stock broking and investing is a respectable business.
And so respectable that even a prime minister himself is tweeting.
Exactly.
A home
That's
minister
the legacy
himself
of
is
Rakesh
tweeting,
Jhunjhunwala.
finance minister themselves are tweeting. See, those are things. I want to really, there is enough he has spoken.
Yeah.
There is enough people have spoken about Rakesh Jhunjhunwala as an investor. I am here to talk more Rakesh Jhunjhunwala as a person.
Tell me an incident.
Because I had, in a way, I had the privilege of having so many innumerous meetings with him. I'm just saying that that's the whole point of Nikunj. That he was actually a possibility. And when you say the word possibility, that is for all of us. He truly inspired that someone can start with 5,000 rupees and can go to 50,000 crores.
What he's achieved, can
You
that
know,
be achieved by anybody else?
I don't know, but at least he's shown that it is possible. I don't know, but I'm saying, second thing, you can do it with integrity. You don't have to do any manipulation, you don't have to do anything, right? Third thing, he's shown that the more you share, the more you prosper.
Law of nature.
Fourth, he said that, relationships, once you make, are so important. Like, why? We did not have a blood relation. But I would say my relationship with him was larger than any blood relation. And so, I think 20 other of my friends can claim the same.
No, it was very touching when he came for a mother's prayer meeting, even though he was in hospital. He made it a point that he came.
That was the character of a man.
He came.
He was in the hospital, the doctors advised him not to go.
Yeah, he still came.
He still came. There were syringes still in his hand. He came and not came for 2 minutes. He stayed for 45 minutes.
He was there. I was there that time, sir.
And I actually asked him, भैया नहीं आते थे तो चलता था. In the prayer meeting, he said, तेरी mother की death है, नहीं चलता था. So that is the person, that is the relationship part of it. So Nikunj, now he is no more. Irrespective of how much I cry, we can't get him back. The only thing which is there is that what have we learned and how do we take the legacy forward.
What would be a tribute to him?
My tribute to him will be two things. One, whatever are the gaps in me as a human or me as an investor, I would like to fill that. And it's a process, it's not a destination.
Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, once we did a joint interview, he said that this decade belongs to India.
Yes.
Looks like things are falling into place now.
Yeah, beautifully so. Beautifully so. And and again, I had meeting with him 10 days back in Bridge Candy Hospital on his birthday.
5th of July.
See the man, So I called him, भैया मेरे को आने का है, तो आ जा, खाना साथ में खाएंगे. भैया मैं पहले आऊँ नहीं खाना खाए साथ में खाएंगे. And that hospital room was converted like a party room.
Yes.
There were food came from 4 places and he was staying in a hospital suite. पहले अच्छे से खाना खाया, इन्होंने terrific mood. बोला ऐसा तेजी लगता है हिंदुस्तान में, कैश मत रखना. This is 5th July, maybe 10 days back.
Yes.
और leverage करके share लेना.
Is it a good idea to leverage?
Yeah, of course, if you, as long as you leverage sensibly, as long as you know how you are leveraging, and again what you are leveraging, and to what extent you are leveraging. People think that you are leveraging, but as per my understanding, he never leveraged more than 2-3% of his net worth.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
So, if you have to remember the golden words of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, I didn't get a chance to meet him in the last couple of months, but if you remember his last words as a market comment, हिंदुस्तान में इतना तेजी लगता है, तो वो तेजी किधर लगता है?
Nikunj, we have spoken about it many times. It is like, as he used to call, it's like a buffet. there is so much lying in the buffet that you have to choose what you want to eat. Don't overeat it, and I'm just repeating this thing so that there should not be any indigestion, that there is no dearth of ideas, and we have spoken about those ideas. I, for one, really concurred his view on public sector banks, and I think these public sector banks, मेरी समझ से उन्होंने पड़ोसियों का भी प्रोवाइड कर दिया है.
Clean balance sheets in the credit cycle has started.
Now loan growth will start. Once the loan growth starts, next 2-3 years, they are all trading at 0.5, 0.6 time book value to 3 year forward. And they will all make anywhere between 15 to 18% ROE. Now mathematically it is not possible that something which is like making 15-18% ROE can trade at 0.5, 0.6 time book value. Only a matter of time before some of these things will get properly valued. But today we are here to talk about Rakesh Bhaiya.
No, I'm just trying to capture his, I'm trying to capture his last words, that his optimism is something which is unparalleled.
Infectious, I would say. His optimism. So what India will miss, according to me, and what even people like you and me will miss. See, when the person is gone, then only you know his importance, right? Now he is gone. You know that every crisis which we have faced in last 20 years, at least of my growing up, there was one man who can come and soothe the nerves. Whether it was demonetization, whether it was COVID, whether it was 2013, whether it was 2008-9, whether it was 2002-3, he will come and with authority say.
2009, I think same channel he spoke about why the worst is behind us. Demon, I remember 1st of January.
Everywhere.
Yes.
And he will choose his timing well. That he will not come on day one of the crisis. He will choose his timing well, but he will come and speak with authority. I think India will certainly miss that voice, and all of us will certainly miss that reassurance, and with that voice that someone can comprehend that why India may, in spite of that special events happening, why India ka picture change nahi hua.
So true. Well, like I said, that India will miss him, but we will not forget him. The legends never die.
Exactly.
And that is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala for you. We will miss him. May his soul rest in peace.